think my turkeys are out. What? Not this morning.
Good morning. Well, good morning. I thought that y'all were out. You were just bright in the sunlight. Good morning. How you doing? Oh, baby. Oh. What are you telling me, sister? Hey, what's going on?
Well. Here we are the morning after the election. Is the election over? Are people still voting? I'm going to try my best to not be totally sarcastic, but guys, I'll be honest with you. I'm the type of person that deals with anxiety through horrible sarcasm. So, guys, I don't know how this is going to turn out, and I got a pretty good response from so many positive comments from you guys over my video that I just put up a couple of days ago about the anxiety about the election. And, I'm sitting here, literally in the cold weather. It's cold this morning. My turkeys, I got them back over where they need to be, and we're all sleep deprived and stressed out. And I think that's a human response. And I just want to say to you all that to thank you for being so positive here on the channel, and being wonderful people and followers. But I do have some advice for you today. I have some advice, and all I can do is, take the role that I think God is giving me with my little audience and my friends and family. And I'm going to tell you right now that regardless of how this situation today, the day after the 2020 election here, regardless of how it goes, and really, honestly, like I told you the other day, if you're across the pond, if you're down under, if you're way up top away from us, I would really highly advise that you also try to do what I'm going to recommend here, because everything that happens here ripples around the world. That is on my video just the other day. So this is not a fancy video. I'm not going to have fancy music and zooming and blooming and dooming and on a tripod and all this stuff. I don't do that type of stuff, which is probably why I don't have 3 million subscribers. But you know what? That's okay. I'm going to really, really stress that regardless of how the next hour, 24 hours, week, month, who knows, whatever happens in terms of what happens here in the U.S., I'm going to highly recommend that you do whatever it takes to make sure that you are topped off on understanding what you need to be doing to finesse your skill sets, and to make sure your children understand the role of their role also in, regardless of how cute and modern we are with the internet and TV and skills, as far as TikTok and Block and all the things that we think you need to make sure your kids know how to feed themselves and plant a tomato and work with a chicken and make some biscuits, scones if you're watching from wherever, right? Because I get that argument all the time. We don't make biscuits, we make scones. And I giggle. I love y'all. But I'm going to tell you what, you better make sure that you know how to grow something, plant something, skin something, how to seed save and food save, and reach really deep on your ancestry and understand the things that made Granny so self-reliant. And I just, that's what my focus for my channel has been for a long time. You may not realize it. And, we do fun things and we're silly at times and all of that. But there's a theme that runs through this. I want my future grandkids and great-great-grandkids to have a documentary of how we really tried to go back to our roots and to be more self-reliant. There's a reason for this. And today should be, if there is nothing else that screams at you, regardless of who you are, where you are, what color you are, what you believe, or who you may have even voted for. There's a real fundamental problem if you cannot say that you can't do A, B, and C, the basic fundamentals that your great-great-grandmother could do. And it's not up to anybody else to teach you. It's not up to me to teach you. It's not up to your government to teach you. It's not up to anyone else to teach you or your children but you. That's part of the problem, and how we've come so far away from the fundamentals of what we should know and what we should do. And somebody's going to come on here and have something negative to say as far as, well, I do this, so I can't do that. There is no room for excuses as of today. And I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, or I'm sorry if that brings you anxiety, and I'm sorry if it stresses you out. It stresses me out to tell you, and it stresses me out to remind myself today. 2020 is the year. This is the year that we find out who we are, what we believe, and what we're made of. That has been the theme for the last 11 months of this year. And if today is the day that you finally realize that, well, at least you have realized it. So whatever, ever it takes, get with your family, get with your very close friends, have a real serious conversation with yourself today on how things are. How did it get there? And what can you change? And if you realize there's very little outside of this, what we just said, meaning you, your close friends, your family, and your community, when you realize that very little can you change, then you need to realize that it starts with you, and it starts with your house, and it starts with your garden, and it starts with all of these things. And don't be scared to try, and don't be scared to fail, because it's better to fail at anything at a time of calm than at a time in which you would need positive results. And even in a time that it's not. I think, for example, it didn't matter 200 years ago, or 150 years ago actually, or so, that the biscuits were burned, because you know what? You ate them anyway. So I love the folks that follow my channel. Many of you have been with me for a very, very, very long time. And many of you are far more self-reliant and more well-rounded in skill sets than I am. And, I appreciate your input, and I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you trying to be a leader in terms of learning skills and teaching skills, especially to the younger generations. They're going to need it. They're going to need it. So we're going to press forth with our channel and be positive and fun. One day we're making fun cupcakes because we have the good times. Other days we're going to talk about varieties of good tomatoes. Some days we're going to talk about seed saving and great chicken breeds to add to your homestead. There's a reason for that. Not just to share with you, not just because I'm sharing with my children, but because, like I've told you before, for the future generations, such as your grandchildren you may not even know yet. They're just a twinkle in your kids' eye. They're going to rely on the skill sets that you learn, that you know, and that you preserve, and that you teach. So I wish you well today, regardless of who you are and where you are. And I'm praying for our country, and I'm praying for our world, and I'm really, really trying to dig deep with trusting the Lord right now. And I know you are too. And I love you. And I love the United States of America. And we're going to get through this. But I'm telling you, it is through the hardships and through the lessons of our ancestors that we are. Dig deep. All right? Stay positive. Stay calm. I love you. I'm going to go look at my seeds for spring. Wink, wink. All right? See you on the next video.